As a mother, no mother, you can understand this as parents, no mother wants their child to drop out of college, to have a baby and to go get married. You'd want your child to finish. However, as I stated before, because I knew my personality, I didn't mind doing it. And it was one of those situations where my mom wanted me to go do something in the medical field. And I know I didn't like anything in the medical field. At least at that time, I didn't like it, right? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Juneann Lewis True Life Story. This is chapter 5. Yes. Look, for those of you who have not subscribed to my channel as yet, this is your opportunity to subscribe. Please do like and comment as well. I truly do appreciate it. I love feedback because it helps me in my decision-making process as to what it is I'm going to share with you. But before I get started, I must thank my sponsor, which is Vitally. I use Vitally Serum, Vitally Day Cream, as well as Vitally Night Cream I use, okay? So thank you so much, Vitally, for your sponsorship. I certainly do appreciate it. You guys, please do check out Vitally. This is what happened last week. And somebody said, Juneann, you're talking your business. If I don't speak up and other people like me don't speak up, it is going to continue. We've got to force people to stop, just like physical abuse, just like mental abuse. We've got to force people and show people, because sick people do sick things. Last week was very heavy. And even for me, and I'm going to tell you guys, I got sick the day after I did that taping. I videotaped. I wasn't feeling well. I literally could not do anything. I had like 2 days I was down for, where I was not feeling to the best of my ability. But anyway, I'm back. Okay, so since the last episode was very draining for me, I decided I'm going to switch it up and tell something else. I'm going to talk about my regrets. And there's two types of regrets, as everyone knows in this world: regrets of things that you did do and regrets of things that you didn't do. I'm going to talk about the regrets, the things that I did do, things in my life that I regretted. So for most of you by now, you should know that I got married at age 21 to my boyfriend I was dating from 15 years of age. And he was in college. I was in college. He decided, became pregnant, and he decided that he was going to join the military. And I continued until we got married. We got married when I was 5 months pregnant. And so that was another situation. Now, needless to say, as a mother, no mother, you can understand this as parents, no mother wants their child to drop out of college, to have a baby and to go get married. You'd want your child to finish. However, as I stated before, because I knew my personality, I didn't mind doing it. And it was one of those situations where my mom wanted me to go do something in the medical field. And I know I didn't like anything in the medical field. At least at that time, I didn't like it, right? But anyway, long story short, here I am, I'm getting married. And I had to go pick out my wedding dress. And I did not tell anybody the day that I was going to pick out my wedding dress. I remember my mom was at work, and I lived in Brooklyn at that time. And I said, this day I'm going to go pick out my wedding dress. But I was not telling anybody anything. And I had no idea what was going on with me at that time. I did not feel comfortable. Now, I know that's a time when most girls want their mom to be there, their family and friends to be there when they're getting married. And, so they want everybody to be around and help them pick out the wedding dress. I didn't. And that is a regret that I have in my life until now. I did not give my mother the privilege of coming with me to help me pick out my wedding dress. I went into the store by myself and picked out the dress that I felt comfortable with. That is one of those things, when I look back, I'm my mom's only daughter, and I should have given my mom the opportunity to be able to pick my wedding dress out with me. So for those of you, if ever when you're getting married or anything, I know even though family members might not always agree at that time, still give them the opportunity to be a part of something that is, especially for your first, there's only one first marriage you're going to have. You can get married how many times after, but At least let your mom be a part of that. Today I regret that because my mom has passed and she's not here, and I feel so sad for that. So yes, anyway, regret number 2. Well, it's actually regret number 2, 3, and 4 in the same breath is what I have to say. I have 3 children, and all 3 of my pregnancies, again, the psychiatrists haven't helped me to decipher this one. I don't even think I ever brought it up to her. Now I have to tell her about this. I never let anybody come to the hospital with me. You know, again, that's something where family members go and everybody wants to see, you know, the baby. And no, I didn't want anybody to come with me. At the time, I can tell you my mindset. My family had a way sometimes of making fun of you, and that's all families, as I think about it, making fun of you. You know, something happened, you're like, oh, you know, you weren't that strong, you were crying. And I didn't want them to see me cry. I didn't want them to see me suffer any pain. And as I'm thinking here, I just figured out something. But anyway, so because I didn't want them to see me suffer or cry or do anything, I didn't want anybody to be with me. I just wanted to go and have my babies. And after I have the baby, you can come. Isn't that weird? I mean, like, okay, I said I've got to figure out with the psychiatrist what that one is about. But that's it. So that's a major regret for me. I wish I'd let my mother come when I was having the babies. Not even my husband was there. He was stationed overseas for all 3 of the births. He was not there, and I didn't make an effort to even bring him in to want to see. I waited until afterwards and then had the babies. So yes, those are major regrets for me. I tell you guys, don't do that. Please don't. Don't do that. Anyway, next regret. I did not breastfeed my children. And that one really hurts me today because I think about it that breastfeeding was a major thing. And I remember when the doctor asked me, I prepped myself for the first one. And when the doctor asked me, are you going to breastfeed? The first time my son latched on it hurt. I said no, and I didn't want to feel that pain. And so I did not breastfeed my children. And because of the first one, I never breastfed any of my children. That's another regret, health-wise, for my children. When I think about it, they would have been much healthier, even from a financial standpoint, because sometimes it was hard getting Infamil and doing all those things and prepping for them, because especially my middle child, she had some other issues that I had to have special milk to give to her. And that was a financial challenge for us. So I wish that I would have breastfeed my children when I had my children. Another regret that I have. Okay, so you guys know I said I stopped for the Olympics. And I wish that I would have opened a storefront instead of listening. And I don't want to blame anybody, because even though I'd asked my husband for his opinion and it was important to me, I wish that I would have opened a storefront and then at that time still continue with that business, because I love that business and it was successful at that time. But instead, money was spent needlessly on other things. And there we go. Today, the business was not open, and maybe it would have been open till now. And this one is going to seem as if, is she serious? Did she really say that? I regret and wish that when I had first had my children, that I'd had a tummy tuck at that time, instead of waiting until I get older. Now I'm struggling and fighting, but that's something I can correct. So I'll get that corrected. Another regret that I have, and this one seemed so trivial, I did not take my father to Barbados when he was alive. Now, my father, for those of you who don't know, my father is actually Barbadian. And my father always wanted to go to Barbados. And financially, there was a time in my life when I could afford it to take him to Barbados. But I was too busy doing other things and living my life. And I regret that I did not take my father to Barbados so that he can see his homeland. He came and he died. And he never got to go back to his homeland and see his homeland. But guys, as I'm talking about regrets, one of the things I want to share with you, please do not let life pass you by and you're laying on your deathbed with regrets. If there's someone that you fell out of a relationship with and you regret destroying that relationship, some person that you hurt, whether it was because you're in a relationship or something that you said about somebody or something, please do correct that now. The ones that you can correct while you're alive, or while you have the energy and the strength to do it. Another thing that I regret, my friend had invited me to her Thanksgiving, and I did not go because I'd gotten bitten by something. And I said, I'll go next year. And do you know what? The next day she passed. That was one of those things that I wish that I'd went to her Thanksgiving instead of saying I was not going. And it was so sad. I never got to see her. The next day she passed from this earth. So even gatherings and certain things, when you have to do it with family members, do what you have to do with family members. I'm a very tight-knit person, and I'm one of those individuals. Again, I'm still working on myself. As I said, I remove myself from relationships, including family members. If I feel that something is being said and I don't agree with it, rather than get into a combative situation, I remove myself. If I'm going through a struggle in life, I remove myself. When I'm prospering, I remove myself. Like right now, I live a life where I don't have too many family members in my life. I have my children, and we're very close-knit, myself and my children. But other family members, I don't let them in because of mistrust. And that's something that happened. I'll have to learn how to start trusting people back again. At this time in my life, maybe not right now for everybody I can bring back in my life, but gradually I have to start bringing family members and people back in my life when we are at the level where we need to be for our relationships, because those are things you have to be careful to again. But judge your relationship, manage them. Think about things before you actually do it. Some things you're going to regret in life. Even the simple things like putting your face in a mess in a picture. That's one of the things I regret. I regret when I was a little girl that I was taking a picture and I made my face real mad. I used to tell my kids, don't do that anymore either. And some of them, they regret those pictures because pictures are valued, and especially if they're going to be for life. Those things you want to do. Don't regret not smiling in a picture. Always smile whenever you can in a picture. That's one of the things. Or in a video, whatever you can. Always make sure that people are seeing the best side of you and not the worst side of you, because sometimes you might live to regret that. All right, guys, that's it for now. I'm going to end it here because I decided I'm going to keep it smaller and shorter for you. It's short and sweet. But next week, I've got some other phase of my life that I've got to delve into. We haven't even reached the part with my husband and how he passed in Kuwait and that sort of stuff. That's going to take a few to get there. But I'll get there and explain that to you. And that big surprise, it hit me like a ton of rocks when I heard it. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and keep watching. Bye-bye.